Hey, yo, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you all having a great week so far. I myself having a good day. Today is my Friday at work, so I'm ready to go to work tonight and get it off and have a great little weekend. And I'm off Memorial Day as well. And so, yes, and next Thursday, I'm going to see the Cowboy Carter tour. So, it's lit for me, y'all. But here, y'all here to see, y'all see the thumbnail. It's part 3 of the read along. Appreciate everyone who be following and coming in, commenting, liking, supporting me through Cash App and everything. I appreciate all of that. It's a read along. That means that we just gotta read what's being said. We are not talk about any other social media posts, just Innocent Press. So I'm gonna share his link, the trusted source. If y'all want to watch it on your own or read it on your own, further than what we got here. And also, I'm not discussing any social media posts. So that means anything that's on Instagram, anything from neighborhood talking and stuff like that. I'm not discussing that. I'm only discussing what he's saying, read it for word for word, and just comment from that. The Wi-Fi signals is creeping up on his streaming, so I'm gonna stay behind camera. So y'all probably won't see my face, but shine bright like a diamond. Yeah, beautiful like diamond in the sky. So if y'all want to discuss anything further of what's being discussed here or anything else y'all just discovered, follow me on Discord. Here go my link to my Discord. Here you go. All right, we ain't gonna hold y'all to it. Look at this. What is going on? Oh, hold up. Y'all see my face a little bit. Hey, y'all. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Hi, y'all. All right, y'all ready? Let's get into it. While I'm reading, y'all can make your comments. I will look at your comments and showcase it and we can discuss some things. All right, then get off. All right. All right, let's get into it. Let's share the screen, add to the stage. Hope this don't make my thing choppy because I'm going to be pissed. And I don't even have the cam on, so I don't know why it's acting up. I think it's plugged in, so I don't know what's happening. All right, let's read. Hopefully it's good. So we still left off of as Cassie is doing a course examination from the defense. So we're on to the last little bit, end of it, and then we move on to next witnesses. Yeah, let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, if the thing is acting choppy or not. Because this Wi-Fi signal is not going up and I got it plugged in. So I don't know why it's acting out. All right, let's get on to it. Let's start reading. Combs Estavo, D-Rock, was like a family member of your family. Victoria said yes, like a brother. Estavo, the assistant Mia, you also had a friendship with Victoria? Yes. Estavo, okay, here you begin with an explicit message, and he responded with one. You're actively sexting. Combs Estava, you started that you're feeling overwhelmed after filing your civil lawsuit, right? Victoria said yes. Estava, you recently received a settlement from the Intercontinental. Victoria said no. Estava, you made a demand. Victoria said yes, 10 million, maybe. Judge, anything further? AUSA, Johnson, I just have one question. Judge, I was asking Mr. Estavo, can you wrap up in 2 minutes? Come Estavo, this is the last thing I ask you to read, Ms. Victoria. Victoria, thank you. We need closure and understanding. AUSA Johnson, why you keep your devices? Victoria, I was afraid of what was on them. I wouldn't take them to the Apple store. Combs Estavo, one question. You just reached 10 million settlement with Intercontinental last week before trial. Objection overruled. Yes. So the defense is trying to make it seem like you just got a 10 million settlement from the Intercontinental. That's the video that was shown of Cassie being harmed by Diddy, and when he ran out with his towel, she went on. I guess she got a 10 million settlement for that. But I said, even though, y'all hear me? Y'all let me know, because this symbol is still going on, and I'm behind the screen. Yeah. I said, even though, pay for my pain. For something y'all should have did justice, y'all should have got police, y'all should have did all that stuff like that. Should have not held the video for all this long time, knowing that y'all had this, and now just only resurfacing now when this case was happening or before the case was started. So no, pay me for my pain. I don't have no issue with that. I know people might have a might say, "Oh, she's there for the money. She want the money now. She had a different motive, ulterior motive for testifying because she." I was like, so it's a civil settlement. Civil is about money. She doing justice right now by testifying while pregnant of getting everything which happened to her out and telling her story. Even if, like I said last time on Sunday, when some of the things that she spoke of, or her truth is not favorable in her side, or don't deem her to the good light. She still telling the truth. It is what it is. So, I mean, I'm not mad at that. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that. So let me see. So during the break, Combs and Figlio, we object to the testimony of the witness after the special agent Don Richard. Judge, why is coming up at 3:30 p.m. Going forward, you just address things before the courtroom. So why are suspicions not on the docket? Judge, jury entering. AUSA Madison Maya. Good afternoon. Where do you work? The special agent Jensen Binda. HSL and Human Trafficking Group. I'm in the Crisis Negotiation Group too. AUSA, did you serve subpoenas in this case? Aja Bina, yes. AUSA, Smaya, when Sean Combs arrested, where did you go? Aja Bina, the Park Hyatt room 22115, where he was staying. Photo interest shown to jury. AUSA, what did you do? Aja Bina, we assigned a letter to each room and began to search. AUSA, Smaya, what was your role? Aja Bina, Benda, I took photographs of items that signed them on 6051 form. AUSA, was this found in the closet? Photo shown, plastic bag full of JJ baby oil and Astroglare bottles. AUSA, Smaya, what was found in the bathroom? H and Bender, several bottles of baby oil shown. AUSA, now the bedroom, what was found in the LV bags? Agent Bender, medication in the name of Frank Black. So medication, the name of right back. So it was something in the LV bags, IV bags, LV bags. I was right. AUSA Smile, and that is this agent Bender bags of pink powder found in the medication bottle. Stipulation shown agreeing it was found and tested by Customs and Border Patrol lab. AUSA, reader from STIP. The pink powder was found to be ketamine and MDMA in bottle. Physical evidence is passed around to jury, then photos shown. AUSA Smile, what was found in a black mini pack bag? Agent Bender, $9,000. AUSA, please take the cash out of the bag. Agent Bender does, fanning out the bills. AUSA Smile, no further questions. Judge, any cause? Combs tending Jericho's. In the hotel room, did you see any bags of clothing indicated that woman was stay with them there? Agent Bender, yes. Judge, the U.S. May court is next witness. Oh, that witness was very quick. I guess they didn't really have much to say with the person. That was very fast with that witness. Judge, the U.S. May cause is next witness. AUSA, Your Honor, the government calls Don Richard. AUSA, where are you from? Don Richard. Y'all know Don Richards was from Danny Kane. That was one of the group that he formed and making the band. And, after he dissolved the group, she stayed and continued working with him for a little bit. He kept her on and so like that. She'd do a little solo projects. And then stayed to do Dirty Money. And after that, that group broke up. And she be on her own ever since. So she's testifying. Don Richard, New Orleans, Louisiana. AUSA, from 2004 and 2011, who do you work for? Don Richards, Puff, Sean Combs. AUSA, did you see him? Yes. AUSA, who is depicted in this photo? Don Richards, Cassie. AUSA, in 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie? Don Richards, she was attacked by Sean Combs, kicked. AUSA, did you see more violence by him against Cassie? Don Richards, often. Photo of Diddy, Dirty Money shown. AUSA, where were you a member of this group? Don Richard, 2009 to 2011. AUSA, the incident in 2009 when Sean Combs beat Cassie, where was it? Don Richards, in Sean Combs' LA home. We were recording. AUSA, what did he do? Don Richard, he was saying, where the F is my food? He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground. Oh, not a skillet. Child. AUSA, what did she do? Don Richard, she went into fetal position. AUSA, then what? Don Richard, Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and body, then drag her up to the first floor, glass breaking and yelling, I was scared for her and for me too. AUSA, did you intervene? Don Richard, no. AUSA, did you call the police? She said no. AUSA, the next day, what happened? Don Richard, that it has been passionate, and she was okay. That it would be better if we didn't talk. That people could end up missing. AUSA, how did you understand that? Don Richard, death. Combs, exfinial objection, sidebar. They do a lot of sidebars in this case. Judge Subramanian, jurors, you can leave for the weekend. Watch the Yankees play the Mets or the Knicks. If it's not into sports, there's a lot going on. See you Monday. Jurors leave. Judge, Mr. Richards, you can leave. I didn't miss Richards. Judge, about this line of testimony, AUSA Comey, this shows consciousness of guilt for count one and relevant to count one. Agnophilia, it's not sex trafficking, it's domestic violence. Judge, why didn't you bring emotion and limelight on this? Agnophilia, I didn't know. Combs ex video. We cannot sit here and say Miss Victoria did anything because of this event because she didn't talk about this one. So this is rank speculation. Judge, she was there. And she does know the effect on Cassie Victoria. Judge, who are the next witness? AUSA Comey, Kerry Morgan, David James. Okay. All right, so we finished for that day. And then we go on to the next day. Hold up. All right, let's go. All rise. Judge Subramanian on the defense. So this is the 19th. This was Monday because they was off for the weekend. This is Monday. All rise. Subramanian on the defense application with regard to Dawn Richards, Ms. Jericho's opening statement opened the door with this testimony. As to Mr. James, the testimony will be inadmissible absent more. AUSA, as I argued in my letter, note, Judge Bermania just ruled orally on letters that are not on the docket, although they are clearly judicial documents. All right, I didn't even know that. Judge Subramanian, the same brand of testimony that was objected to on Friday, does the government expect Ms. Richards to say what she heard and saw? AUSA, yes. Judge, that would be permissible, just like the testimony in the recording studio. AOA Slavic, personal assistants were with Mr. Combs 20 hours a day. Their testimony is admissible. Judge, my concern is that there are others to get this evidence in. There are other ways to get this evidence in. What Mr. James would add is just a postscript. Combs Agnophilia. On the Davis James issue, this defeats the whole purpose of the hearsay objection. The government is arguing that all admissible because the job descriptions are so vague. We contend these are personal matters. Judge, let me focus you on the assault on the chef Mr. James learns from a member of the security detail that Mr. Combs assaulted the chef. Wouldn't that be in the scope of their employments? Combs Agnophilia. I don't know what relevance that has to racketeering. Combs Agnophilia. This is becoming a sort of a bad act free for all. Assault is not just one of the racketeering acts. AUSA Slavic. This is relevant to the means that methods of the enterprise. The chef is identified as a victim of forced labor. Combs Agnophilia. I'm going to defer to Ms. Westermore on the other witness. Combs Westmoreland. Mr. Richard claims that Mr. Combs assaulted Ms. Miss Richards. I think he keeps saying Mr. Richards. Miss Richards claims that Mr. Combs assaulted Miss Victoria right in front of her. These other alleged threats are nowhere near in close proximity to the alleged assault. Combs Westmoreland. We have to distinguish between the Danny Kane and the Diddy Dirty Money errors, and Mr. Pierre telling her, "Where are you going to do?" Going to go. I don't see how that can be constructed as a threat. Let me think about it. Judge, we have an application from the press that emails put me in the record. I am directing you to put them together and put them in the docket by next Tuesday, and after that on a weekly basis. So they will try to get some details or some testimony, see what is relevant or not based on a case, and whether these testimonies are to be admissible and not. That was the whole conversation we was having just now. Jury entering AUSA Slavic. When Mr. Combs told you people could go missing, how did you interpret it? Don Richard, that people would die. I couldn't believe that this could be the beginning of a journey for us. AUSA, as for Diddy, Dirty Money, Don Richard say yes. AUSA Slavic, what did you observe? Don Richard, he would drag her and kick her and punch her in the mouth. AUSA, what would prompt these acts of violence? Cone Westmoreland, objection, judge overruled. Don Richard, when she would speak up for herself. AUSA Slavic, who is in security witness these things? Don Richard, D-Rock, and Bonds. AUSA, where did Miss Victoria get hit? Don Richard, her knees, her face, all over. AUSA, did there come a time you were in New York for the festival? Don Richard, yes, in Central Park. AUSA Slavic, in the residence, what happened? Don Richard, he punched Cassie. He came into the bathroom crying. She came to the bathroom crying. You could see her upset, like she was hurt. Cone Westmoreland, objection. Judge, sustained. AUSA, what injuries did you observe? A, swollen eye. AUSA, why you remained with Miss Victoria after this incident? Don Richards, I wanted her to feel supported. AUSA, what's this? Don Richards, the Central Park events. What y'all thought so far? How y'all feel about Dawn's testimony so far? Why you remain okay? The Central Park event. Photo of Cassie in sunglasses and Dawn Richards too. AUSA, why did you wear them? A, solidarity. AUSA, the next assault. Who was there? Dawn Richards, D-Rock, Capricorn Clark, Harvey Pierre. AUSA, who was Mr. Pierre? Dawn Richards at Bad Boy answering to Sean Combs. AUSA, did they do anything? Dawn Richards, none of us did anything. So despite everything, nobody really do anything. Because I guess they were fearful in their lives as well. If you should not intervene. I guess I feel like if they didn't do anything, if they would do something, then they would be the target of his aggression and his anger and his rage. So they decided to stay quiet. And that's how it was happening. I think the reason why a lot of things was happening and going on for this long time because people were scared or fearful what we might do to them if they do speak out or say something. Until it's time for them to speak up and it was ready for them to open and say what they have to say. But at that time, no, nobody was saying nothing and they ain't do nothing. They turned a blind eye. Don Richard, when we drove back to LA, he slapped Cassie in the mouth and told her to shut the F up. AUSA, how did the passengers respond? Don Richard, we stayed silent the rest of the ride. Listen, you do these crazy acts in front of people. People will say, oh, we get the message. We get your message loud and clear. So if you could do that in front of us with no regards to what we may think, imagine if you say something, what he would do to us. So in their mind, it best for them to keep quiet. Don Richard, I asked myself, if he did that to someone he supposedly loved, what he would do to an employee. Exactly. So I approached Mr. Combs with softness. AUSA, did you try to intervene in the relationship? Don Richard, no, for my own safety. AUSA, did you see Mr. Combs using drugs? Don Richard, yes, weed, ketamine, Molly, cocaine. AUSA, opiates, Don Richard, that I never saw. AUSA, who brought him the drugs? Don Richard, one stop. He had it all, including Plan B, birth control. AUSA, did you see Mr. Combs with guns? Don Richards, yes, handguns on his lower back. AUSA, who asked had guns? Madonna Richard, Security D-Rock, and Bonds. I guess he also had guns. AUSA, what did you do after Bad Boy? Don Richards, same. Whenever I got momentum, I get a FaceTime from him. AUSA, how would you speak to him? Don Richards, very soft. I always call him bro. Child. Bro, why? Come on. I'm not even on camera. Whatever. Hope this video turns out well, because I would hate to do it all over. AUSA, why did you not disclose the abuse you seen? Don Richard, I was told not to by Mr. Combs and Harvey Pierre. Of course, they would tell you not to say nothing. Otherwise, they would get on you. AUSA, when did you speak out? Don Richard, 2024. Don Richard, I saw Miss Victoria take the stand and tell the truth. Con Westmoreland, objection. Judge sustained. AUSA, did you see Miss Victoria file a separate lawsuit and then filed your own? Don Richard, yes. Judge Cross. Come with some Combs Westmoreland. You are aware that there's a motion to dismiss your lawsuit. Don Richards, I have civil lawyers. Westmoreland, you sat with the prosecutor, and your allegations have changed. Don Richards, I have been consistent. Cone Westmoreland, you testify he attempted to hit her about the eggs, and Miss Victoria dropped in the fetal position, right? Don Richards, yes. Westmoreland, did you ever say you heard a pan hit the wall? You didn't see it. Don Richard, I don't recall. Cole Westmoreland, will you agree with me? It has been hard for you to keep your story straight with respect to the eggs incident. John Richard, I told it as close as I could. Westmoreland, the day after you said Mr. Combs said people go missing. Yes. I mean, why do we need to know if a pan hit the wall? What's that relevance to? He took a pan and hit her. It is what it is. Who cares what direction it went to? Y'all think that relevant? Y'all let me know. Cole Westmoreland, let's do to your interview on March 18, 2025. You did not say anything about Mr. Combs told you people go missing. Don Richard, I don't recall that. Westmoreland, no worries. I'm going to show you a document for the parties only, page 5. Cole Westmoreland, isn't it true the first time you said this week was a week ago? How would you let me show you your previous interviews? No. Would you like me to show you your previous interviews? Don Richards, I know what I said. Westmoreland, you said Mr. Combs made a death threat. One that you don't recall 7 times. You didn't record 7 times. Cone Westmoreland, let's move to alleged incident before the Central Park concert. You are aware there was a camera crew. Don Richard, not in the bathroom. Cone Westmoreland, you were filmed in the park. Are you aware if the video has been turned over? Answer, no. Cone Westmoreland, about the gun. You didn't tell the prosecutors about I saw guns at Diddy house. Don Richard, they didn't ask. Yeah. If they ask me, I'm not volunteering no different information. You ask me a question, I answer it. So doesn't mean that he didn't have it, but they didn't ask. So what you getting at? But I see where the defense is going. They're trying to say that she has been changing her story since she be talking about this and not being consistent. That's what the defense is claiming. That Dawn has not been consistent with her story back and forth. But I was like, the thing stands. He was beating Cassie. Not the more, not the less. But okay. Westmoreland, you never saw Mr. Combs pull a gun out and wave it around, loaded bullet or cock it. Don Richard, he just had it. Combs Westmoreland, did you tell the government you never saw Mr. Combs do cocaine? Don Richard, I don't recall. Well, Westmoreland, your testimony has changed a quite few times. Don Richards, as time progresses, I remember more. Combs Westmoreland, you saw him one stop sell drugs. Did you see him? Did you saw him take money? Don Richards, yes. Westmoreland, all right, 1 second. Didn't you tell the government you never saw anyone pay him? So you lied, right? Don Richard, no. Judge, sidebar. The fence is going hard or Dawn? Child, they going really hard. Back for sidebar. Combs Westmoreland, it was you who reached out to Mr. Combs to work with him again. Don Richard, yes. Westmoreland, but he had threatened you, right? You asked him to work with you again? Don Richard, yes. Westmoreland said, okay. Now, I understand that people try to make this seem like, oh, if he was this bad, why you work with him? It's like, just like any abuse. If somebody's hitting you and beating you, you still stay with them until it's time for you to go. I think at this time when he was working with her, I think that's the only person he really stayed with or stayed signed with after Danny Kane ended. So I guess it was really hard for her to do on her own because I think she did an interview in the past, and I remember her saying that she worked at first one time she was doing her own thing, but it wasn't getting a buzz or anything, and she wasn't getting successful as much at that time. So I guess working with him at that time was good for her at the moment. Now, it may look bad, but at the end of the day, I guess it was really hard for her to do anywhere else, to work with anyone else. So I guess it was easier for her to just go back to him and just continue working music for the time being until she get on her own feet. But y'all let me know your thoughts. How y'all feel about her testimony so far? Combs Westmoreland, these songs will you release on your own have not reached the level of what you released with Diddy Kane and Diddy Money. That name, Diddy Dirty Money, yes. Right? Don Richard said true. Westmoreland, and you reach out to Mr. Combs to try to make more money, right? Yes, I mean, good. That's my livelihood. That's my only livelihood income. So if I go make some good music at this time, for what it's worth at the time, so yes, let me make my music. AUSA, can we have a short sidebar? There we go, a lot of short bar. Sidebar, and it's not short. Still wondering why the same size legal arguments to the judge, judicial documents will only go into document on the week's delay. That's his comment. They're back from long sidebar, redirect. AUSA, why did you file your civil lawsuit? Don Richard, when I worked for Sean Combs, I had no sleep. The conditions. AUSA, in every meeting with the government, did you say that Mr. Combs beat Miss Victoria? Yes. AUSA, why you reach out to Mr. Combs? Don Richard, one of the judge on making a ban, Lori Gibson, I wanted to reach out. Combs Westmoreland, objection, judge sustained. AUSA, how often will you hear from Mr. Combs after you left Diddy Dirty Money? Don Richard, sporadic. AUSA, why you reach out? Don Richard, to help Kalina Harper. That girl, child, why you helping her out? AUSA, no further questions. Combs Westmoreland, may we have a brief conference at the bench? Another sidebar. Recourse. Combs Westmoreland, you meant you reached out to Mr. Combs to re-engage. You claim only to have a relationship with Lori Gibson, but if they got back together, you had to see Mr. Combs more, right? Don Richard, yes. Combs Westmoreland, you sue for money, right? Don Richard, for justice. Westmoreland, but the suit asked for money, right? Don Richard, yes. Westmoreland, no fresh questions. Yes, she filed a civil lawsuit. A civil lawsuit is all about money. A lot of the criminal activities was long gone and probably past its limitations. So yes, a civil lawsuit is about money. What else? What she gonna get? Doesn't mean that she don't want justice now. Y'all just love hammering people about money, huh? Money this, money that. Judge, Miss Slavitt, AOSA, no redirect. Combs, Donaldson, break. Okay, a break. So that was Dawn Richards' testimony. So what y'all say? Do y'all think the defense really did they big one with Dawn Richards by poke a holes to what she was saying? Or trying to convince the jury that she was inconsistent in her testimony? I believe she kept saying what she needed to say. And whether or not she kept working with him after they break up, after she experienced what she saw, she had to make money. And at the time, it was good. But it doesn't take away the fact that he was what he was doing to Cassie and threatening people in front of them. And also probably also threatened them or saying, if y'all say anything, I got something on y'all too, or whatnot, or whatnot. And at point, she was still under contract with him at some point. So yes. All right, jury entering. AUSA, the government called Kerry Morgan. Where do you live? I think this was Kerry Morgan was the best friend of Cassie. They're ex-best friends now, but they was best friends at the time. AUSA, the government calls Kerry Morgan. Where do you live? Kerry Morgan, Los Angeles. AUSA, who is this? Photo shown. Kerry Morgan, Cassie Ventura. AUSA, what was your relationship? Kerry Morgan, we was best friends. Her boyfriend assaulted me. AUSA, did you see him here? Kerry Morgan, yes. There in a yellow sweater. AUSA, let the records reflect the witness identifying defendant Sean Combs. AUSA, why are you here? Kerry Morgan, I got subpoena. I said, boy, don't be asking me those questions. You know I'm here, but you know she got subpoena. AUSA, where did you live with Cassie? Morgan, Manhattan. AUSA, did Cassie drink? Kerry Morgan, not much. AUSA, any drugs? Kerry Morgan, none. AUSA, what was she doing for work? Kerry Morgan, modeling. That she recorded Me and You. AUSA, when did you learn they were dating? Morgan, 2007. AUSA, did you travel with Cassie and Mr. Combs? Kerry Morgan, yes. Ibiza, Miami. AUSA, what drugs did Mr. Combs provide? Morgan, Molly, marijuana, ecstasy. AUSA, which did Mr. Combs take? Morgan or Morgan, did you take drugs alone? Oh, I guess this was AUSA, and she put Morgan by mistake. Did you take drugs alone with Cassie? Morgan said opiates. AUSA, how did Mr. Combs act? Kerry Morgan, he will yell at Cassie. She lost her confidence big time, lost her spark. AUSA, did Mr. Combs talk down to Cassie? Morgan, yes, about her looks, who she talks to. AUSA, did he contact you looking for her? Morgan, a lot. See? Every time she goes somewhere and everything, he always trying to find her. For everybody was thinking, saying, why she just don't leave? It's like, yes, she trying to leave or she trying to do her own thing, but he always searching for her. Always have been searching for her. Kerry Morgan, sometimes he will call 50 times. Oh my gosh. That's way too many times to be calling me about finding somebody. You see how obsessive people do like that? That's what they do. They get obsessive. They call you constantly. You have to change your phone. You have to block your phone number. You have to change your number. That's what they do. So when y'all read this, think about it. Think about it. She just couldn't just up and leave like that. He'd be trying to hound her down. AOSA, will others call you for him? Yes. Christina Corin or KK. AUSA, did you witness assaults? Morgan, yes. First in the Hollywood Hills, Ruben, one of his security guards, was there. AUSA, what did Mr. Combs do to Cassie? Kevin Morgan, he kicked her. AUSA, what did she do? Morgan, nothing. I told Ruben to do something. He indicated he wouldn't. AUSA, then what? Morgan, we left the house. Cassie and I were hiding by someone's front steps. Even a security guard wouldn't intervene, would not have intervened when something like this was happening to her. His own security guards did step in because he had everybody on lock. AOSA. And the next time, Kevin Morgan in Jamaica, I saw him drag her by her hair. I ran back to get my purse and phone so we could leave. AOSA, what did you see next? Kevin Morgan, I thought he was knocked out. I thought she was knocked out. Then she got up and ran into the wooded area. AOSA, what happened next? Kevin Morgan, there were two golf courts in the driveway. I got in one and Sean got in the other. We went in different directions looking for Cassie. AOSA, did you find her? Morgan, yes. Then we hid in a ditch, whispering. So they were trying to escape from him, and he was looking for her. They were trying to escape him, and he was looking for her. Try to escape, and he was looking for her. AOSA, what about the incident at Comstock? The apartment, Kerry Morgan, Cassie came back with a hoodie covering her face. Then Sean came and tried to get in, hitting the door with a hammer. I called D-Rock. AOSA, did he get in? Morgan, no. Then police came. AOSA, what happened? Kevin Morgan, Cassie wouldn't show them her ID. Nothing happened. They left a card. AOSA, read this message. Did you send an attachment? Morgan, yes. A photo of the card the detective left. AOSA, did Mr. Combs ever assault you? Kevin Morgan, yes. He hit me with a wood coat hanger and choked me. AOSA, where did the hanger hit you? Morgan, behind my right ear. AOSA, what did he express concern about? Morgan, who Cassie was cheating on him with. So he hit you. It is a lot. It is a lot, boo. It definitely is a lot. Trying to get through this. Definitely is. Y'all can still hear me good, right? But why he hitting you? Try to question what the hell is she cheating with? Ask her, why are you hitting me for? This guy was doing the most. AOSA, who did you speak to about it? Kevin Morgan, Ryan, Sean, own assistant. AOSA, what did he do? Morgan, nothing, shrugs. I haven't spoken with Cassie since. That's how the friendship broke up. Because I guess she felt like Cassie didn't defend her or at least be up for her. I said, I don't know how much she could defend you when she tried to do her own survival. I know it sucks that your friendship broke up because she entered this kind of abusive relationship with this guy. They supposed to be music and everything, and then all what he just used her for sex work and being violent towards her. And then he turned his anger towards other people who try to aid her, bait her, or close to her and whatnot. So yes, he was very threatening to the people around him, his employees, to Cassie, to anybody else who was getting his way. And the fact that this relationship ended because he assaulted her, and she felt like, I guess she felt like Cassie didn't really defend her because she was in her own survival mode. She couldn't defend you when she tried to defend her own self, try to survive her own thing. So it just sucks that it's happened. It just really sucks. All right, let's move on. Judge Break. With jury out, the arguments continue. Judge, what's your best citation to try to get this evidence in? AUSA 614 F.3D 30 at 39 and 945 F.3D at 706. Judge, I look at them and we come back. Comes X video. I haven't seen this before. Judge, you need all to get something to eat. Break. Judge said, bye. Get out of here. Go get something to lunch. They back from their brief lunch. Judge, if I let this, Ms. Victoria will be recalled as a witness. AOSA, I doubt that we will call her. Judge, the defense could call her back to the stand. AOSA, I doubt that she will be available. Judge, the evidence is out. Whatever they're trying to submit, they said he let this in, she could call back because the defense could call back in to testify against what they have got in witness. So he threw the evidence out since it won't be available because, you know, she's close to having a baby. Judge, I anticipate Mr. David James will be the next witness. How is he relevant? AUSA as to the means and the methods of the enterprise. Mr. Combs threatened to assault employees. While waiting for the jury to come back in, here is a court art of Combs to the Georgia lawyer Nicole Westmoreland as she cross-examined Dawn Richard this morning. Okay. I don't know why we need that. Jury entering. AUSA, no further question for Miss Morgan. Judge Cross. So now the government finished with Kevin Morgan, and now this cross-examination for the defense. Combs team. Judge Cross. Combs ex Filio, you were Miss Victoria's best friend since 2004. Kevin Morgan, actually 2001. Get it right. We met waiting for the Polaroids to develop. I was living in Buffalo. She was in Connecticut. Combs Agnafilio. Then you were both in New York City. Kevin Morgan, I stayed downtown. She moved to Harlem. I know that's right. You know. Agnafilio. Have you ever met Kim Porter? Morgan, yes. Probably at a concert. Agnafilio. Was Cassie ever jealous? Morgan, yes. Combs Agnafilio. And the other way? Kevin Morgan, Cassie was speaking with Michael B. Jordan, and Sean got jealous. She was trying to leave him. Agnafilio, you were both using drugs? Morgan, no. We went South Africa. Agnafilio, did you learn about Gina? Answer, yes. Kevin Morgan, he was having a full-on relationship with this little girl. Come Agnafilio, why did you call her that? Morgan, she acts like that. She younger than us. I know that's why she had she said, listen, a full-blown relationship with this little girl, and that's what it'll be. Comes Agnafilio. When you say Sean came and hammered on the door, why did the police come? Kevin Morgan, they said because of the noise. Agnafilio, what did they say to you? Morgan, Cassie was visibly injured, but she didn't say anything. Combs Agnafilio, you two were best friends for 18 years, but now you haven't spoken with her since 2018. Kevin Morgan, that's true. Agnafilio, at the danger of being capital obvious, that's a long time. She's moved on. AOSA, objection. Combs Agnafilio, why haven't you spoken with her? Kevin Morgan, she did not support me after Sean assaulted me. I tried that line at assault. Agnafilio, you reached that settlement with Miss Victoria Morgan, the money came from Mr. Combs. Agnafilio showed Kevin Morgan photos, then asks. Combs Agnafilio, did you know if Louise Hayes is a self-help author about self-affirmation? Morgan, yes. Agnafilio, why did you send him this? With words of encouragement. Morgan, I don't remember sending it. Agnafilio, okay. I guess I don't know what that means. What they were trying to get at with that. And comes Agnafilio. I want to show you a few more photos, but first, let's talk about the incident when he put his hands on your neck. Were you and Cassie using any drugs at the time? Kevin Morgan, no. Agnafilio, what did he say? Morgan, he said, who is she cheating with? Why do you keep asking me who is she cheating with? Boy, you got resources, find out your damn self. You keep asking me. And first of all, why you think he's cheating on me if you and her were never an exclusive relationship? Yes, y'all was together for like, I think 11 years, but most of that time was basically her being your sex work and being abused and used for sex work. It was no relationship like that. It was, but not exclusive. So for you to be all in your tizzy feelings about what she's doing when you have other people and other girlfriends, other people that you was dating publicly, you got some nerve when to question why that, who she's dating or stuff like that. But okay, boy, bye. Combs acting video. You went to an agent care, or you went to an urgent care and not the hospital. Kevin Morgan, right? Acting video, but you don't. But you don't. The prosecutor, it was bloody, and you went to the hospital. Morgan, I don't remember that. Acting video. Look at this 3500 material not shown to jury. Kevin Morgan, I see that. I said that. Now cross examination. AUSA Foster, do you remember Miss Agnifilio asking you about an incident in LA? Agnifilio, objection. Judge overruled. AUSA Foster, and he hit her like in Jamaica, arguing about jealousy. AUSA Foster, what happened in Jamaica? Kevin Morgan, he dragged Cassie by her hair in a 50-yard hallway. A 50-yard hallway, you drag her by her hair like that? Boy. AUSA, was he talking about jealousy? Morgan, no. He said she spent too long in the bathroom. AUSA, nothing further. Judge, any recourse? Agnificio, now. Oh, I think he mean no. No, they ain't doing it anymore. All right, so that was Kerry Morgan, the ex-best friend of Cassie. She testified of her statements and her testimony of witnessing Combs being jealous and asking for her and searching for her and wondering who she was cheating on him with and assaulted her and whatnot. That was her recollection. And I guess she had a sentiment from Cassie or from him for her assault. All right, so next is David James. He is the next witness from the government, and he was the personal assistant. So we catching up, y'all. We catching up. We still good on time. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts so far. Next witness is David James. AUSA, why are you here? David James, I've been subpoenaed. I don't know why y'all keep asking people why they're here, knowing damn well y'all subpoenaed them. Y'all subpoenaed us. Like, we had to be here. I mean, y'all don't have to be, but still. AUSA, why you here? David James, I've been subpoenaed. AUSA, were you Combs' personal assistant? David James, from 27 to 2009. 2007 to 2009. 2 years. AUSA, who was that in this photo? David James. That is David James. AUSA, that is yourself? Yes. David James. I went to college in Michigan. Later, I faxed my resume to Bad Boy. AUSA, where was the interview? David James, 1710 Broadway. AUSA, who you meet? David James, Tommy, his sister Keisha, and others. AUSA, how did they test you? David James, they gave me 40 appointments and asked me to make a schedule. You had to know, for example, what time a particular show on Hot 97 came on. AUSA, what did Mr. Combs ask you? David James, to make a spreadsheet for Miami. David James, I said I know his food and restaurant preferences. He asked me why I make a good assistant. I said, can't stop, won't stop. I got the job. Oh, snap. Just say it just like that, huh? And got the job. AUSA, Did he have others? David James, Miss Robles, Mr. Barber, others. AUSA, what did you do as assistant? David James, bad boy to 5, then out to dinner, then to studio to 3 a.m. We get a call time at the end of the night. Oh, that's a long day. AUSA, did you travel with Mr. Combs as well? David James, yes. AUSA, who was the security staff? David James, D-Rock, Barnes, Uncle Paulie. AUSA, who you work 20 hours a day? David James, yes. Security did too. That's a long amount of hours working for someone as a personal assistant. But hey, AUSA, what did security staff tell you? David James, to stay in my lane. They told him to stay in his lane, meaning that what you see here, you stay as what you're supposed to be hired to do. You don't do anything further to disrupt what's been happening. Meaning stuff is going down and you need to shut up, basically. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about what's happening. Do your job and there will be no issues. Basically, that's what they're telling him. AUSA, who said that? David James, Bond, Uncle Paulie. AUSA, focus on his personal chef. Who is this? David James, Chef Jordan Atkinson. AUSA, did Mr. Combs have girlfriends then? David James, Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara, Yana, and Cassie. AUSA, what was your first conversation with Cassie? He had all these girlfriends and did all that stuff to Cassie. But yeah, you worry about who she is messing with. But the difference is that he has the power and the monies and the means. She didn't at the time. So everybody will make it seem like she gonna leave. I just want y'all to think about it. He had all his girlfriends by the time he was with her, and he had Cassie in private. Showcase put Kim Porter in public, and had all his other girlfriends too. And you had time to do all that stuff to do me. Okay. AUSA, what was your first conversation with Cassie? David James, we were on Star Island. Kevin Morgan was there too. Cassie said, this lifestyle is crazy. David James, I asked her, why didn't you leave? She said, Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for the apartment. Yes, he controlled a lot of aspects in her life. Property, music, her life at the time. She was young. He was older, famous. He has money. He has assets. So it was scary for her to deal with someone this big and this strange and this quick magnitude that he, in his magnitude. AUSA, say next conversation. David James, it was about her music, but the album never came out. AUSA, did you ever heard a conversation? David James, yes. David James said, Mr. Combs said, Kim is my queen. Out in LA with my family. He said, I have Cassie right where I want her. She's young and moldable. AUSA, young, Your Honor, how much longer do you want to go? This will be a good place to break. Judge will break for the day. That right there. Kim is my queen. Cassie, I got Cassie right where I want her. She was young and moldable. And people go over there going around saying she wasn't groomed, she couldn't be groomed, she wasn't groomed, she was in on that. No, he molded her how he wanted her, broke her down, and made her do what he wanted her to do because she was young. And I know a lot of people online saying, oh, because she's 19, she a grown adult, she knows. I said at 19, yes, you still you are legally adult, but you still a child. You're still young. You're still developing mentally. It's like that. You don't know life. You don't know life yet. And not experience with someone like him. So no. Miss me with all that. Miss me with all that. Y'all doing the most. That's it right there. Says it all. You know what he was doing. All right. So let me get to the next one, which is May 20th. That was yesterday's testimony. So we caught up. We catching up, y'all. That was today. All right. Let's continue. Before jurors come in, Combs Agnew video. We oppose David James' testimony about the incident with Suge Knight. He's going to mention D-Rock. Says he was afraid of Biggie Smalls. That's decades ago. Not relevant. Judge. Seems you were previewing your cross. Judge Subramanian. Good morning. Welcome back. Courtroom deputy. We are missing four jurors. It may be the subways. Judge, okay, we could reconvene. Okay. Juries have belatedly arrived. AUA say Slavic. What about physical violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie? Did you personally observe it? David James, no, I did not. AUSA, do you remember a blog post? David James, yes, I was in LA when he came back from a club. AUSA Slavic, what did Mr. Combs say? David James, that someone was lying on him. Says he hit Cassie at the club. He went through my browser history. No one had ever done that to me. AUSA, did Mr. Combs give you instructions about Cassie? David James, to bring her food at the London hotel. Some Roscoe's. AUSA, what is Roscoe? David James, some delicious fried chicken in Los Angeles. AUSA, Slavic, what did you do for Mr. Combs in New York? David James, I will bring him applesauce, Jello, Fiji water, his toiletry bag with ointments just for men. We bought 40 items so he couldn't call us. I get a key like at a Trump International. David James, I'll set up the medicine bag in the personal LV bag. AUSA Slavic, what was it? David James, a Viagra, ecstasy, perks. AUSA, how did you go about replenishing these supplies? David James, I used my personal credit card. Bad boy paid me back. He used his personal credit card, and his bad boy business paid him back for the expense of what he paid for them. Sounds to me that's a business expense, but even though he used his own credit card. Is that lines of racketeering, y'all? Is that lines of racketeering? Use your business enterprise to purchase stuff. But you know, this is personal supplies. But you know what he was using this for. But hey, whatever. But we're gonna see more. We'll see if he used more these expenses on his business account. We'll see. I just want to point that out. AUSA Slavic, who paid you back? David James, usually bonds. AUSA, did Mr. Combs ever stay alone in a hotel? David James, never. Usually Cassie, sometimes other women. AUSA, did he ask you for things during the stay? David James, he texted me for an iPad or food. iPod or food. AUSA, Slavic, did anything strange ever happen? David James, yes. In Miami, he asked for an iPod from his house on Star Island. I drove it to his hotel and knocked. No answer. I had a key. I set up the room. AOC, what did you see? David James, Cassie on the bed. David James, there was another person who sort of scurried away and the shower was on. I thought Mr. Combs was in there. AOSA, how was she sleeping? David James on her back. Combs acting video. Objection. Judge sustained. AUSA, Slavic. What about the other person? David James. He was about 5'8", with long hair and a large endowment. He scurried away. AUSA, did you ask anything? David James, I wasn't hired to ask about their personal affairs. AUSA, Slavic. Did you ever... What's going on here? Did you ever pick up drugs from Mr. Combs? David James, yes. Percocet at a pharmacy, sometimes in my name. Oh, I guess your name. AOSA, did you give him permission to use your name? David James, I don't recall that. AOSA, was there a drug dealer? David James, yes, one stop. Most people mention one stop, who is the drug person who be giving Sean these products. AOA Slavic, did you ever take ecstasy? David James, yes. I was drinking Ciroc. I took ecstasy. I was Diddy bopping. AUSA, what do you mean? David James, I was vibing. AUSA, did you speak with Mr. Combs about it? David James, he was reviewing footage of the party. See, this is what he does. So I'm not upset because I know people trying to put it, oh, they was getting down, they was drugging. I say yes, because at the end of the day, that's the environment he was given. He was providing this environment where people could have fun, do things, whatever thing, but not, at the same time, with all this fun and games, he still was violent. And because of this, and he was doing things that not supposed to be doing, some illegal activities. So because of that, he had footages, and he would keep these footages on these said people just if they decide to go against him. So you know what he could use and do? He could use that against you to keep you quiet or blackmail you to shut up. So yes, go ahead and have your fun around him, but he will have evidence on you. And why would he need that if he wasn't trying to coerce or threat or blackmail people to do what he wants, to cover up what he's doing? You know what exactly he was doing. That's not something he just would use his joy. He used that for collateral. So, all right, I just want y'all to use your brains. Let's move on. He was reviewing footage of the party. And why he's reviewing it? David James, he had a videographer who filmed the parties. He asked me, hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around at the party? I said, yes. And he said, I'm going to keep the video in case I ever need it. And why would he need it? See? You see what I said? He keep that for a reason, just because he ever need it. AOSA meaning, James, that I be embarrassed. AOSA Slavic. Did anything ever go missing? David James, they said a bracelet was missing. Uncle Paulie came to my hotel room and searched my belongings and those of my girlfriend at the time. AUSA, could you have said no? Agnophilia, objection. Judge, move on. AUSA Slavic, did you ever have to take a lie detector test? David James, yes. AUSA, who was present? David James, just me and this gentleman. It was very intimidating. They put monitors on my head, my chest, and my hand. AUSA, could you refuse? Hey, not to keep my job. See, even grown men were scared. Hey, King, how you doing, boo? Even grown men were scared. They felt like they had to do what he had to say. It is. There's a lot going on. How you feel about so far with the testimonies and stuff that I'll be reading? They feel like they can't say no. So when everybody say, why Cassie can't do that? She wouldn't do that. Why she couldn't say no? I said, because she couldn't feel like she could say no. If these guys, grown big men who probably could take on Combs in a fight, meaning they had to keep their job and they couldn't say no, what do you make Cassie go do? Yeah, bye. AUSA Slavic, did this happen again? David James, yes. When Mr. Combs said a watch of his had been stolen. So stuff got stolen and people had to take a lie detector test. Disapprove that they didn't do nothing. Okay. Imagine you was working for an environment. It is. It is. And do y'all feel like some of these credits of some of the witnesses that the government is bringing up is credible or not? Or y'all know the iffy? It's be fine. Y'all can speak your truth. Okay, so AUSA, what was the result? David James, the gentleman told me I seemed nervous. I said, sure I am. Of course. David James, once Capricorn Clark had to take a lie detector test to prove she was a part of a heist of Mr. Combs' jewelry. Damn. What? Oh my gosh. AUSA Slavic, was there an incident at Mel's Diner with Suge Knight? David James, yes. I drove the Silver Navigator to get cheeseburgers there. David James, D-Rock said, that's a mother effing Suge Knight. He went over and said, what's up, Suge? You didn't recognize him? D-Rock said, I'm Biggie's boy. I'm Biggie's boy. AOSA Slavic, what's happened next? David James, we noticed 4 black SUVs to different sides of the parking lot. And you know, crazy, Whitney Williams was the first one who was trying to tell us about him. You know, she had the tea. They once were telling us about who he is and what he was doing. But you know, people at the time, they didn't want to believe her. I believed her, but you know, a lot of people didn't want to believe her because, you know, at that time, Diddy was so big and popular. But when they said, nope, I got the tea, y'all. David James, I saw someone hand Suge Knight a gun. D-Rock said, we got to get out of here. We drove back to the house. AUSA Slavic, what did you find there? David James, Cassie was crying. Mr. Combs got in the vehicle. I saw 3 guns on his lap. David James, I felt calm because we seen a silver vehicle. Now a black one, they couldn't see us. They wouldn't see us coming. AOSA, Slavic, what did you find at Mel's Diner? David James, Suge Knight had left. Mr. Combs said, drive around, he blocked. The block. Drive around the block. AOSA, Slavic, what did you decide? David James, to leave the company. They offered me other positions, but I just wanted to leave. My life was at risk. AOSA, Slavic, no further questions. Judge, Mr. Agnophilia, Combs Agnophilia, you didn't tell all this the first time, David James. They told me to stop. to not to say anything that will incriminate me. Agnew Video, look at the notes from your interview. Read this for yourself, then look up at me. David James, okay. Agnew Video, how would you recognize Suge Knight? David James, I listen to hip hop. Combs Agnew Video, were you drinking or smoking pot? David James, no, sir. Agnew Video, your mind was clear. David James, as clear as it could be, working 20 hours a day at 4 a.m. Agnew Video, D-Rock opens the door. Suge Knight is a few cars over. David James, window open. David James, D-Rock said, I'm Biggie's boy, and then Suge recognized him, gave him a dab. Combs Agnew Video, what's a dab? David James, a handshake. Agnew Video, did you leave D-Rock at the diner? Why are you smiling? David James, because that's a crazy question. Why would I? David James is working the fence. I know they say, oh, damn, who is this guy? Combs Agnew Video, didn't you leave D-Rock at the diner? David James, that makes no sense. Agnew Video, I'm not asking what makes no sense. I'm asking, did you? David James, no. Agnew Video, you said you saw Cassie and Mr. Combs. David James, yes. Mr. Combs told me to drive. Agnew Video, you don't know where Mr. Combs got the guns, do you? David James, I didn't know we had guns until then. Agnew Video, have you ever been in a situation like that? David James, no. Agnew Video, you didn't say, I don't want to drive to Suge Knight with guns. No. Agnew Video. Oh, no, hold up. No. Agnew Video, what exactly did you do before you got this job? What exactly did you do before you got this job? David James, I was a door-to-door salesman, their personal assistant. Agnew Video, now you was going with guns to confront someone. David James, it was not ideal. Agnew Video, you knew how to get to Mel's Diner, right? David James, I frequent there all the time. Agnew Video, you never seen guns before, right? David James, no. Agnew Video, this is a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? David James, it's the understatement for the day so far. I know that's right. Is the understatement of the day so far. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what job description? Working with him, it was no really set job description. Yes, it was personal assistant, but a lot of us had to do what he wanted to say. A lot of them had to do what he wanted them to do. Whether it's part of their thinking job description or not. So that's an understatement, because what job description? Yes, I was a personal assistant, but what did he say we do? So he asked me to go travel with him, even though I don't know exactly why we're traveling for. I had to do what I had to do. Now, did I want that to happen? No, I didn't want that to happen. Boy, bye. Understatement for the day. Exactly what it is. Agnew Video, do you have immunity? David James, ask my lawyer. I have some kind of offer agreement. Agnew Video, pro offer. Combs Agnew Video, you didn't tell anyone about this. David James, only my wife. Agnew Video, did you meet with the government this morning? David James, yes, briefly, about what might come up in course. Combs Agnew Video, did the Mel's Diner incident came up? David James, no, not that I recall. Agnew Video, it's this morning. What did you talk about? David James, your style. They said, boop, it's about your style. Child. I know the defense is like, damn, this witness is gathering us together today. I know they was like, can we get him off the stairs real quick? Because he is reading us down, y'all. And we don't got time. Your style, boo. And some laughter. Agnew Video, I'm dying to ask what they said, but I won't. Combs Agnew Video, I have a few more mundane questions. David James, I love mundane questions. This guy. These lawyers that cross-examine leaves no stone unturned. Yeah, they try to dig deep. They try to really debunk a lot of things. That's why I was trying to ask people how y'all feel about the defense. Because people feel like the defense is doing their job. But I was like, let's see. Because prosecution is still early in a case to build up to make it racketeering. So, but I see elements of it. So we'll hope they really tie things together. Money thing and everything. Yeah, I hear about that dusty people wearing t-shirts. Yes, this would make sympathy for him. It's stupid. They all a bunch of dusties. I love mundane questions. David James getting their asses. Like a video. Where did you travel with Mr. Combs? David James, Ibiza, London, St. Tropez. Like a video. Were these vacations? David James, business oriented. All these places was businesses. Combs Egg video. What were you hired as? David James, personal liaison, but I was a personal assistant. Egg video. He met a high level roster of people. David James, second understatement of the day. Egg video. Why? David James, he met with a who's who. Oh, David James is getting it. Oh, David James is getting the defense. Lovely. He met with who's who. He met no freaking high roster of people. Boy, get your act together. Comes at the video. It was important that he be prepared for these meetings, right? David James, yes. At the video. It was important that he be on time. David James, no. We changed meetings to fit his schedule all the time. When he didn't want to show up at a certain time. Combs at the video. He had security because people wanted to touch him, right? David James, yes. In the airport, at McDonald's, at the field. Was he gracious? David James, I don't think gracious is the word I use for Sean Combs. I know that's right. At the video, did he sign autographs? No. Combs at the video, you said he stayed in a studio until 3 or 4 a.m. and you stayed with him? David James, yes, it was common. At the video, what sort of things will we want to always have with him? David James, ketchup, for example. Ketchup? Nothing but press. I can imagine that everybody want to tell their story and try to tell us what they think. That's why I don't listen to none of their press people. I'm listening to what they read here, and I form my own opinions. Because some people try to sway you to the other side, and I don't need to be swayed. A lot of them can be objective. Combs acting video. Did you know he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? But why is this a lot of questioning? Why do we know he put applesauce on cheeseburgers? And why do ew? Okay. I don't understand why this was a lot of questioning though. But okay. Agnophilia. He likes Astroglide, condoms, and baby oil, but you didn't expense it through the business. David James, usually not. Dang. David James, I was told he didn't want to run them through the company. He didn't want a record of them. Yes, you know why he don't want a record. He don't want a record because if he has a record of him using business expenses to pay for this stuff, to do the free course, he know that's illegal. Because people who are smart don't leave paper traces. They usually use cash to pay for it. That's what all this testimony we've been hearing so far. It was being paid by cash. Nobody said they got paid by check. Nobody said they got paid by wire, whatever at the time, whatever it is. Because at that time, I think it wasn't much on credit cards like that. Maybe there was, but yeah, never mind. It was, but nobody said nobody was paid by check or wired by Zelle or any other stuff that was popular at the time, because all that traces. So everything is done by cash. So cash is hard to trace unless you have video proof evidence or people's statements say otherwise, or witnesses that say cash will be exchanged and they see all this. Otherwise, it's hard to prove. So, but hey, we still got other elements of activity in this case anyway. So hopefully we get more line of witnesses stating that cash was exchanged and this, that, and this was this money was changed for, and have records of that, even though it's not paper trail. Combs X video. When you bought the 8 ball of coke from or St. Topaz, pronounced St. Tropez, you didn't tell Mr. Combs, did you? David James, he was asleep. Combs X video. Tell me about your relationship with Roger Barnes. David James, we talk about Bad Boy as a family. At the video. What do you mean? David James. Mama Combs called me her son many times. At the video. What was the mission? David James, make sure he happy, of course. That was always the game, right? Combs X video. Was it fun? David James, I enjoyed it from time to time. At the video. What was your relationship with Chef Jordan? David James, professional. At the video. Did you choke her? David James, no. AUSA, objection. Judge Starbar. Combs Angle video. Tell me what happened. David James, we were on Star Island. She told me where to take him. I grabbed her 2 wrists and said, stay in your effing lane. Let's tell her to stay in her effing lane. Angle field. Was there a fallout? David James, it was reported to corporate HQ, Mr. Combs called me in. David James, Mr. Combs told me you can't be putting your hands on women. He told me to give her a gift. You know that's so freaking popcorn account. How you gonna say that's rich coming for him? That's very rich coming for him. For tell his personal assistant he can't put his hands on a woman when he's all around doing the same thing. Ain't that about a bull, y'all? Ain't that about a bull for him to say that? Knowing he's doing that to Cassie. And probably to other girlfriends he was dealing with too. But we don't know about that. It's like crazy. Combs Agner video. What did you give her? David James. I rolled up a blunt and gave it to her. Not a blunt. Agner video. Did she like it? David James. It appears she did. Combs Agner video. You were in a car with Mr. Combs. And who? David James. Chris Lightly. Agner video. You have taken ecstasy. David James. I party. Sure. Agner video. What were things like in the studio? Drugs? David James. Yes. It was a creative environment. David James. I did smoke when working with Mr. Coles. Comes at the field, but he caught you smoking once. David James, I thought he was in for the light. In it for the night. I lit up. He came out. He said, what were you doing? I said nothing. David James said, if you're man enough to smoke, you're man enough to tell me. I said, okay, I smoke it. He said, if I did it again, he fired me. Ooh. Comes at the video. How about when you picked up 2 prostitutes and had sex with one? And you would say objection 403. Judge overruled. David James. She asked for $200. I called bars and asked, what the hell? She asked to take a shower. I said that's $200. Laughter. Coach X video. On that note, no further questions. So she took a shower for $200? Okay. Judge redirect. AOS Islamic. What about the incident in Alpine, New Jersey? David James to file a police report and say that Chef Jordan had been the aggressor, but I didn't file it. I drove around and told him I made a report. AOSA, what have we asked you to do? David James, to tell the truth, AOSA nothing further. We crossed. Combs Fignio, you lied to Mr. Combs about filing a police report. David James said yes. Agnifilo, nothing further. Could we have a break? Break. I don't see that's an issue. Yes, he lied to you about filing a police report because I guess he wanted him to file a report and said that Chef Jordan was the aggressor whenever incident had happened, but he didn't file it. He pretended he did, and then told his boss that he did, even though he lied about it. But he told the truth on the stand, so it is what it is. Yes, I told him I did. I filed it, even though I didn't. And yes, I lied to him. Truth, point blank, period. Nothing further, nothing less. They're back. So they finished with David James. How you feel about his testimony? He was a cahoot with the defense. I know the defense said, listen, this guy was having put us through it. But hey, he got through it. So now we about to witness. The next witness is Regina Vittora. That's Cassie's mom. So let's get to that. They're back. Judge, jurors. I'm going to try to get the temperature turned up in here. I'm told it's complicated, but I'm freezing right along with you. They had a laugher. AUSA. The government calls Regina Vittora. AUSA. Where did you live? Virginia Vittora. New London, Connecticut. AUSA. How many children do you have? Regina Vittora. 2. Roderick and Cassandra. AUSA. Who is this? Regina Vittora. Sean Combs. He dated my daughter. AUSA. When did you meet Sean Combs? Virginia Vittora. 2006. My daughter signed with Bad Boys Records. He was her boss. Then they started dating. They moved to LA. AUSA. Read this message for December 2011. Regina Vittora. Cassandra wrote to me. Regina Vittora. She said Sean Combs threatened to release a sex tape and go after her and Mr. Mascuti. AUSA. How did you react? Regina Vittora. It made me sick. Sean Combs demanded $20,000. He said to recoup losses due to Mr. Mascuti from my husband and myself. Oh, wow. So a big businessman as him wanted to recoup his losses by threatening to release a sex tape of her daughter and asked the parents of Cassie to pay him $20,000. Let that sink in, y'all. Let that sink in. That's crazy. Sick. It's sick. It is twisted. Sick and twisted. Okay. So AUSA, why did you take a loan to pay Sean Combs, Virginia Vittora, for the safety of my daughter? So she had to take out a loan to pay him the $20,000 just for him to not to release the sex tape. And you don't think that's not blackmailing, y'all? That's blackmail. AOSA, look into the binder next to you, Regina Vittora. These are the photos I took of my daughter abusers from Sean Combs. AOSA, do you know Mia? Regina Vittora. She was an employee of Sean Combs. AOSA, what happened? Regina Vittora. We were in the kitchen laughing. Sean asked her why she was laughing. She stopped and looked plain. AOSA, now in August 2016, we're done with the binder. AUSA, LA and while in LA, did you call the police? Regina Fatora, yes. Sean Combs stole Cassie Cassandra's phone. They had a bitter argument outside of her apartment building. She lived on the 17th floor. They argued about a roundabout. AUSA, who else was there? Regina Fatora, D-Rock. AUSA, is Damian Butler his government name? Regina Fatora, he was standing between us. I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. AUSA, no further questions. Judge Cross, defense, no questions. Oh. So the defense did not cross Regina Fatora. Wonder why? Because they couldn't get around the blackmail, or they just didn't want to put her through it anymore. Line of questioning. Because it was an opportunity. They cross examination every other witnesses so far, go ham and go trying to go in to poke holes to every other witnesses. But when it came to the mother, they had no questions for her. Oh, okay. So to me, she was a very credible witness. Cause that statement there, that stuff right there was damaging. But it was surprising they didn't question her. Let's go to the next witness, y'all. Are y'all here? Are y'all all right? Oh. Next witness, AUSA. The government calls Mr. Sheree Haynes. Where are you from? Sheree Haynes, Harlem, New York. AUSA, what was your work? Sheree Haynes, male exotic dancer. I was known as the Punisher. Is this what everybody talk about the Punisher? Do you recognize these two? Sheree Haynes, I do. Mr. Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. I was hired in 2012 to create a sexy erotic scene for them. This was a photo they shown. AUSA, why were you called the Punisher? Sheree Haynes, playing basketball on West 4th Street. AUSA, the woman who called you, what time did she book you for? Sheree Haynes, midnight at Trump Tower, Central Park West, striptease for a small group of friends. AUSA, when you got there, how did Miss Victoria appear? Sheree Haynes, in a bathroom with nothing underneath, in a wig. I was expecting a crowd, but there was no one else. She told me she and her husband wanted to create a sexual scene with baby oil. AUSA, what did she hand you? Sheree Haynes, $800. AUSA, how was the room? Sheree Haynes, dimly lit, electric candles, bowls of water with bottles of baby oil in them. She told me not to acknowledge her husband, not to look at him when he came out. Oh, I want to give a special shout out for Jasmine. Thank you for the cash up. I just received it. Thank you so much again for an amazing cash up. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you'll join the read alongs of the trial. If you're watching, thank you again. I really appreciate it. Okay, let me see. What was it? AUSA, did he come out? Sheree Hayes, yes, he was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. You can only see the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. AUSA, how did you recognize it? Sheree Hayes, I use it, the purple top. AUSA, how did it end? Sheree Hayes, she went into the other room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was happy. She gave me more money. AUSA, did you do it again? Sheree Hayes, yes, 8 or 12 times. AUSA, how did you end up recognizing her? Sheree Hayes, I was a fan of Mr. Combs and followed him on Instagram. I saw her on it. AUSA, that will be a good place to break. This will be a good place to break. We're back. AUSA, how were these sessions scheduled? Sheree Hayes, I be reached out to at 5 or 7 p.m. for later. They asked me of second seed, but I knew it would be more. AUSA, how would it start? Sheree Hayes, baby oil, a sexy atmosphere, Mr. Coles, what that? Like all these baby oil, why always you want baby oil? Like, come on now. Always with these baby oils. It's a session with it. How much glistening you want me to be, and what effects it does? Like what? Like why are you so turned on about it? If allegedly nothing was in it, why the hell did we need to wear it? Mr. Combs would direct. AOSA, how did the direction work? Sheree Hayes, Mr. Combs might say, sit forward, move the camera, or what happened sexually. You know, one time during sex, he dropped a stack of money. He said, I like this ish. AOSA, how much baby oil do you use? Sheree Hayes, a lot. We were supposed to be glistening as much as possible. Oh, child. AOSA, how long would that last? Sheree Hayes, for hours. A lot of waiting, maybe 40 minutes or so. I was supposed to finish in a Pacific spot. I'm not going out of a Pacific spot. Like, what the hell you want? In that direction? AUSA, then what? Sheree Hayes. She would leave Mr. Combs 10 or 15 minutes. She returned in the bathroom and paid me $2,000 or $1,200 cash. AUSA, did you think Miss Victoria was enjoying herself? Combs, Xavier Donaldson. Objection, sustained. I don't know, why would you sustain that? Because if in defense, then I was stupid. Because if y'all claiming that she was enjoying herself and she was in on this and she wanted the free girls, why would you freaking object to the question of if she was enjoying herself? And that was your whole defense, right? The prosecutor said she was forced to do these things. And she was. But all the time she was forced to do these things. Even if at the beginning she was with it, but it became too much. And y'all defense said that she was enjoying herself. It was no coercion. She enjoyed the freak offs. For y'all to object to that questioning, I didn't understand that. But y'all let me know your thoughts. Because it didn't make sense. Because that was your whole defense. AUSA, did you use drugs? But I'm not a lawyer. But it doesn't make sense to me. Sheree Hayes, I am not a marijuana smoker, but I did put a Bill Clinton. I was handed a joint. AUSA, did you have performance issues? Sheree Hayes, having a woman's partner there, yes. AUSA, did the issues affect your pay? Objection, overrule. Nope. Don't object to that. Yes, I agree with the overrule. No. Let's answer that. Sheree Hayes, yes. I wasn't sure how they calculated it. One time, Mr. Combs threw condoms on the couch next to us. I struggled. It was a failure. AUSA, what happened? Sheree Hayes, they went out. I finished. She came back and thanked me for privacy. AUSA, what did you think would happen next? Sheree Hayes, I was worried I would not be used again. I hadn't done my job. He has said, I want to see you F her, and I couldn't. AUSA, are you writing a book? Sheree Hayes, yes, self-help about my ED. It's advice. AUSA, in the book, did you write about your time with Mr. Combs and Miss Victoria? Sheree Hayes, yes. I called them a married, wealthy couple. AUSA, how long is it? Sheree Hayes, 6 pages out of 186. I sensationalized it. I wanted to be enjoyable highs and lows. AUSA, no questions. Judge Mr. Donaldson. Combs, Xavier Donaldson. I tried to make this as harmless as possible. Congratulations on your book. What is called? Sheree Hayes. A search of freezer meat. What's harder than that? Donaldson, good title. A search of freezer meat. I mean, I won't be reading it, but I guess. Combs Donaldson, you have a website? Sheree Hayes, yes. Now I'm a co-worker. Now I am a co-owner. All the male dancers are independent contractors. Donaldson, you've been doing this for 25 years. Sheree Hayes, 30 years, coming up on a big anniversary. Combs Donaldson, you dance with them? Sheree Hayes, a professional dry hump. Donaldson, for 30 years, thousands of ladies, you try to not develop feelings for them, right? Sheree Hayes, you try not to. It's a job. Donaldson, but you talk to Cassie. Answer, cordial. Combs Donaldson, she asked to be called. She asked to be called. No, she asked to be able to call you. Sheree Hayes, just to set the sessions up. We would never ask to talk. Donaldson, she was comfortable with you. Sheree Hayes, she said so. Donaldson, you have feelings for her. Sheree Hayes, incorrect. Combs Donaldson, but you thought she was only doing this with you. Sheree Hayes, that's correct. She said it was a special occasion. Donaldson, you did develop the feelings for her. Sheree Hayes, that's not correct. Donaldson, you told the government. Combs Donaldson, the government notes said you developed feelings for her. Sheree Hayes, that may have been taken out of context. Combs Donaldson, you said you used your 25 years experience. Sheree Hayes, this was a different scene. Usually I aim for humor. Combs Donaldson, you wouldn't try to dry hump someone who didn't want to be dry humped, correct? Sheree Hayes, yes, it's important to read the room. Donaldson, so you read the room with Cassie as she wanted? Objection, sustained. Exactly, shut the F up. What are you trying to get at, Combs Donaldson? Are you reaching? Come on now, answers the right questions. Let's go. That question was not necessary. Combs Donaldson, will Mr. Combs request that you penetrate? Sheree Hayes, it was demand, not a straw suggestion. Who he asked you to penetrate, him or her? Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me go on. Will Mr. Combs request that you penetrate? It was a demand, a strong suggestion. Donaldson, Cassie paid you even when she canceled, right? Sheree Hayes, yes, $500. Combs Donaldson, Mr. Hayes, I wish you success with your book. Sheree Hayes, thank you. Judge, redirect. AUSA, what made you think Mr. Victoria was enjoying herself? Sheree Hayes, it was the first time unprotected. ASA, without the details. Donaldson, objection. AOSA, no further questions. Anything, Mr. Donaldson? Donaldson, what did you mean by steaming? Sheree Hayes, I felt it was enjoyable for Miss Victoria and Mr. Combs. Um, okay. And I know his funky behind got on figure online and someone interviewed saying that he realized he going on the stand was a mistake and he felt like he helped the defense. I said, boy, I don't know what you guys say, but you should be shut up. After you did your defense, I want to say nothing else in no media. I want to do no interviews, nothing. I said what I said to say, and I want to say nothing until after the verdict is being done. F out of here. It was a mistake. You said what you had to say. You said your truth. If it was the truth, ain't no to be embarrassed about it. But shut up. Yes, I said it. Come on now. You want to see yourself in television screen doing interviews already after you testify? Shut up. Go ahead with your book. Judge, next government witness. AUSA, the government called Special Agent Gerard Gannon. AUSA, where do you work? Agent Gannon, Homeland Security? No, not Homeland Security. HSI. Yes, it is. In Miami, in the National Security Group. AUSA. In March 2024, Agent Gannon, the HSI Human Trafficking Group, Sex and Labor in Miami. AUSA, what time the search began? Agent Gannon, after 3 p.m. AUSA, why so late? Agent Gannon, we learned Mr. Combs and his family were flying out of the country. AUSA, where was there a pier on the property on Star Island? Agent Gannon, yes, we had to monitor it. Photos of 2 Star Islands shown. AUSA, why did you have to break open the gate? Agent Gannon, to make sure bad actors wouldn't have time to put those who wouldn't search in danger. AUSA, what is a photo of? Agent Gannon, the pool and the pier. After review of the second Star Island floor plan, AUSA, what did you find here? Agent Cannon, parts of AR-15 rifles, sex toys, and Astroglide. Photos of guns shown to the jury. Agent Gannon, these magazines were loaded with bullets. AUSA, what do these show? Agent Gannon, the serial numbers have been cut out. AUSA, let's turn to 2 more exhibits. What are these? Agent Gannon, the ammunition we found. AUSA, and these platform heels, how high were they? Gannon, 7 inches. This may be a good place for a break for the day. Let's break for the day. Today was good, minus Sheree. All right, so let's get to today's testimony and let's read some of it. And we got like half an hour left to read, and then we'll do part 4 on Sunday. Yeah, we do part 4 on Sunday. Let me see. Oh, let me find it first. Yes, I always say people say they're not seeing racketeering. It's like let's all do these figure testimonies. This racketeering is happening. They just need to put the pieces together and showcase more elements of it. But okay, y'all swear there's no racketeering. All right, let's do the next one, y'all. Y'all here? All right. So we caught up. We on today's testimony. That's all. Before the jury is in, Judge, the defense letter about Dr. Hughes preserves your objection, Ms. Shapiro, but the defense letter is not in the docket while after innocent of press objection, the U.S. letter is in. Okay. That's not necessary. When Dr. Hughes is on stand, I'm sure Mr. Botch can raise that in cross. Damn, Tef Lloyd, he got so many different lawyers. We got like 5 or 6 are probably attorneys, prosecutors, and then like 9 or 10 defense lawyers. Chill. Judge, what about these texts involving Miss Victoria and buying drugs in Boston? AUSA, we think it's irrelevant, but if they redacted it, it's not hearsay. That she was in Boston on her own. I think that's why Mr. Aquino wants it in. Judge, I think on it. AUSA, we were concerned that Miss Porter's death may be used to blind sympathy for Mr. Combs and lead jurors to believe that if he is convicted, his children may. Judge, I think on it. As to Mr. McCuddy, the defense is concerned about hearsay. AUSA, Mr. McCuddy would not be testifying today. Did I miss that? We emailed at 10:45 p.m. This is not on record. Why not? Okay, I'm not reading all that. So Mr. McCuddy was supposed to be testifying, but I guess something happened. Oh, that's sharing? You have to read that? Okay. Judge, please get the witness, Mr. Gannon, back and check on Julie. Welcome back, Mr. Gannon. Julie Intimate. AUSA, Mr. Gannon, let's continue with the items you siege on Star Island. GX, what is this? What is this? High heels and sex items in the master closet. AUSA, what's this? Gannon, these three cell phones found in one of the boots. AUSA, display the Gucci bag for the jury. Pull up GX1008 in the stipulation. Zoom in on paragraph 5. A white plastic bottle. It contained liquid residue of meth and liquid MDMA. AUSA, these pills were found with a Tesla imprint on them. They had the active ingredients in Xanax. This $100 bill had residue of cocaine. Mr. Gannon, what's this? Gannon, a dark wood box with word puffy on the top. AUSA, how did you know that this is the Astroglide and the baby oil that you seized? How many bottles of each? Gannon, 31 Astroglide, 25 baby oil bottles. AUSA, any other cell phone found? Gannon, yes. AUSA, BX 1301, page 3, paragraph 11. AUSA, was a gun found in the suitcase? Gannon, yes. A.45. AUSA, hold the bullets up for the jury. No further question. Judge Cross, defense, the day of the search, you knew that Mr. Combs was leaving the country with his twin daughters. Objection, sidebar. At the sidebar, Combs, Terry, Geragos. In planning the search, you knew that none of the targets of the investigation would be there. AUSA, objection, judge overruled. A.G. Gannon, the plan was to have him not there, but we had contingencies. Combs, Terry, Geragos. What type of vehicles did you use? Gannon, A.J. Gannon, armored vehicle. Combs, Geragos, in a boat, came in by land and by sea. A.J. Gannon, is common practice. Geragos, 80 or 90 agents. Gannon, not all at the same time. Combs, Terry, Geragos. What type of vehicles did you use? A.J. Gannon, armored vehicle. Combs, oh, I saw that right. No, never mind, y'all. Not on the time. Combs Jericho's. You found 6 people and kept them in handcuffs for an hour. Agent Gannon. No, ma'am. There was one individual who wasn't happy with us. It wasn't cooperated. So we kept him in handcuffs longer. Jericho's. Because he wasn't happy with cuffs. Combs Jericho's. There was a music studio in the guest house, right? DX305. Do you recognize this? Agent Gannon? Yes, ma'am. It's the studio. Jericho's moved to admit. Combs telling Jericho's. The gun was wrapped in towel. It didn't look like how you played it in the jury yesterday, right? Gannon, Agent Gannon? Yes, ma'am. Jericho's. Did you find any photos of Mr. Combs with these firearms? Agent Gannon, we did not. Combs telling Jericho's. Do you agree that handguns, metal, is easy to get fingerprints than maybe another type of device? Agent Gannon can't say it is easier, but it can be done. Jericho's. Can you get prints off a gun easier when it's inside? Gannon, I think so. Combs Jericho's. At HSI, you have Mr. Combs' DNA, right? Agent Gannon, I don't know. Jericho's. When he was arrested, the government took DNA swab, right? Gannon, I don't know. Jericho's. Hold up, the Gucci bag. Combs telling Jericho's. The drugs was in this bag and in a puffy box, right? Agent Gannon, yes. Combs Jericho's. Your Honor, I'm going to introduce a sealed exhibit with the help of IT. May I approach the witness? Judge, yes. Deputy, we may proceed DX304. AUSA Smire. AUSA Smire, cut off the screens. Can't exhibit. Combs telling Jericho's, please don't say the names of the people in this photograph other than my client. Don't talk about it. AUSA Smire, may we confer with counsel? Judge, you may. Deputy, we may take the sealed exhibit down. Combs Jericho's. Agent Gannon, you live in Florida. Don't many people have guns in their homes there? AOSA objection. Judge, rephrase. Jericho, do you have guns in your home? Gannon, yes. Jericho's, no further question. Judge, redirect. AOSA Smire, no. Government judge, witness. Um, uh, I mean, he did what he had to do. He raided the house. He got evidence. He found out what he got evidence for and all like that. Do y'all think the defense is doing a good job or something? I don't know. Cause people saying that. I don't. I'm just not really seeing what they get at. So saying that, oh, because you got a gun in your house, anybody got a gun in the house, is that illegal? I mean, not necessarily unless these guns is not on record. If these guns is not legally record, why the freaking serial numbers is taken off? If it's on record that you could probably own these guns, there should not be reason why these numbers and stuff is taken off and cut off, right? So the guns could be illegal, but whatever. Government next witness. AUSA, the government calls Dr. Don Hughes. What's your profession? Dr. Hughes, clinical and forensic psychology. I treated people who were in World War II, which was such an honor. Hey, hold up. Dawn Hughes, that name sounds familiar. People were talking about her. Was she was in a case before? Was she was in a recent case and people didn't like her? Or feel like she was not a credible witness? Or did she testify in a recent case? It was a recent case that she testified. People was not liking her. So that name's sound familiar, y'all. Y'all let me know. Because I'm trying to see. Because I was hearing this name and people were not happy about her. But let's go on. AUSA, how many times have you testified in court? Dr. Hughes, 60 or 65 in SDNY, ENDY in the Northern District, also New Jersey, PA, CT, and Virginia. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Virginia. AUSA, we offer Dr. Hughes as an expert. Defense, no objection. Ooh, no objection to her. Okay, let's see. AOSA, what do you anticipate uncovering? Dr. Hughes, why victims stay? Memory. AOSA, have you been retained by the government? Dr. Hughes, yes. AOSA, what is your hourly rate? Dr. Hughes, $600. $6,000 for the day in court. Ooh, child. AOSA, why do victims stay? Dr. Hughes, there is a psychological bonds and the psychological consequences of the abuse. AOSA, what are the levels of fear? Dr. Hughes, it ranges from physical violence to butterflies. Violence doesn't have to happen all the time. AOSA, what is psychological violence? Dr. Hughes, intimidation, throwing things, telling you what you can do and where you could go. Defense, objection. Judge, hold on. I'm going to strike that last answer. Oh, okay. You're going to strike the answer? Wow, that's the truth, though. But okay, but whatever. Y'all want to strike it? Y'all strike it. AOSA, Missy Snyder. What could be the role of a sexual abuse? Dr. Hughes, it puts the victim in significant psychological fear. AOSA, why does it prevent leaving? Dr. Hughes, shame, degradation. They don't want to think about it. AOSA, what is emotional abuse? Dr. Hughes, putting down your partner feeling like a piece of crap. AOSA, what's about financial codependence? Financial dependence. Dr. Hughes, the abuses controls housing and transportation, taking away her laptop. Objection sustained. Judge, come on, what's going on here? Well, I guess they talk about emotional abuse and they talk about financial dependence. That's financial dependence, right? Taking away things that are only dependent on them. But he sustained it, so that means he agreed with the objection, so they got to answer another question. AOS Steiner, are you familiar with love bombing? Dr. Hughes, that's honeymoon phase. The abuser showers her with gifts and affections to get her back. AOSA, does that attempt to leave happen over time? Dr. Hughes, yes, it makes multiple attempts. AOSA, what is the most common coping mechanism? Dr. Hughes, trying to work it out because of trauma bond. You don't want to lose your partner. AOSA, personal coping mechanism, how does placating or pleasing work? Dr. Hughes, we're trying to avoid abuse. AOSA, what is minimization? Dr. Hughes, the victim says maybe they had a bad day at work. Maybe they were intoxicated. It was a way to stay in a relationship, but it increases their risk. It's not a long-term strategy. It gets from one assaultive episode to a next. AOSA, what about the power relation? Dr. Hughes, a person can have power as principal of a school. The victim asks, who is going to believe me? AUSA, when does the victim finally speak? Dr. Hughes, in a safe environment or after psychological help? AUSA Steiner, what type of language do victims use when they first speak of it? Dr. Hughes, they minimize it. They are piecemeal. They remember the chipping paint on the ceiling, the smell of the alcohol on the perpetrator's breath. Sidebar, and then a cross-examination. It will be by Jonathan Bach. Alexander Shapiro's husband only recently brought on as Cohn's 10th lawyer. Cohn's Bach, your clients, you observe them quite closely. Cohn's Bach. So this is his 10th lawyer. So far, he had 9 already. And now he needed another one. Why do he need another one if you feel like your teams already is doing a good job? Because a lot of people say the defense is doing a good job. So why do he need a 10th person? That's what people saying. I don't think they're doing a good job. I mean, I feel like the government's proving their case in some way, shape, or form. So we had a 10th lawyer from defense team. Go figure. So now Bach is questioning her. Combs Bach, your clients, you observed them closely that a cognitive style. Dr. Hughes, yes. Combs Bach, people don't fit into boxes, right? Dr. Hughes, they are categories. Bach, but you had to listen to particular individuals, right? Dr. Hughes, I'm not divorced from my training. Combs Bach, when you do forensic work, you want a lot of sources of information, right? Dr. Hughes, if it's relevant. Bach, you could look at police reports, witness reports, and like correct. Dr. Hughes, correct. Bach, you familiar with malingering? Answer, I am. Combs Bach, people can fabricate emotional responses, correct? Dr. Hughes, they can. Judge, Mr. Bach, should we break here? Bach, I don't have a good cliffhanger. Break. A cliffhanger? What the fuck is this? But wait, during the break, they bring in George Kaplan to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. Judge Supermanian, welcome. AUSA, did you receive a subpoena? Kaplan, yes. AUSA, did you intend not to answer on the Fifth Amendment grounds? Kaplan, yes. AUSA, Comey, Your Honor, please sign the immunity order. Judge, has he read it? No. Read it first. AUSA, Comey, the attorney says he's reading. Judge, I signed the immunity order. AUSA government will seek to admit GX69A. Now break. Okay. So somebody got immunity there. Have a good night, boo. Couple more minutes left, y'all, and then we go end it here. They back. AUSA, Your Honor, we emailed you the exhibit over the break. Combs and Confidio, we object to it as hearsay. The statement that I feel you from Mr. Combs is ambiguous. He could be saying thanks for the advice. Judge, we pick it up after Dr. Hughes. Please get her back on the stand. Witness entering, jury's entering. Combs Bach, you were with American Psychological Association, which says you should only render opinion after an examination, right? Where, Dr. Hughes, this is a different role. Combs Bach, you have not gathered information about this case, right? Dr. Hughes, I am not rendering opinion on any individual. Bach, there's someone named Cassie, but you don't know what she said, right? Dr. Hughes, I don't. Combs Bach, you testify across the river in EDNY, right? Dr. Hughes, right. Bach, and you said the same thing, even though the cases are different, correct? Dr. Hughes, it's to help the Jews understand. But it's their job to consider their case, right? Combs Bach. All right, Bach, I understand what you're trying to get at, but listen, man. She is explaining the effects of what abuse could do to a person. Not to specific to Cassie, but in generic situation. So, but he's trying to make it seem like since you didn't recognize this case, how can you talk about this? She is only speaking in a general definition type of sense. Or what can these things do to a person? So the jury had to understand, because when you have a jury with eight men, let's be for real, y'all. Let's be real before we continue moving. When you have a jury with 8 men and 4 women, most men don't understand the aspects of abuse and how it affects a person. Let's be real. Most men are the abusers. And you can go right now. When you go to these comment sections and everything, you read people's conversations, even though pick me girls and the men, most men don't understand. They criticize the woman and say, why you stay, why this, that, this, that, you don't understand, you join it, all that stuff, say all that stuff. Not knowing the complexity of how abuse affects a person. So I feel like the men in the jury should understand what it is and how it will affect someone and how this is irrelevant to the case of her being coerced and threatened to stay and do these things against her own will. even though she probably was coming back a couple of times or whatnot. So no, I think they do need a definition and they do need to understand it what it is. So for him to try to, like, they doing their job, they have to do their job, but for him to try to make it seem, oh, she didn't understand this case, so she not credible, whatever. I don't know how she was in the other case because everybody keeps talking about her, but all I know I got from she just talked about generic sense and whatnot. But let's move on. Y'all let me your opinions. Comes by. You don't publish data on the patients you have evaluated, do you? Dr. Hughes is confidential. Box. So I can't cross check your experience, the basis of what you are saying, right? Combs, box. People might go to a civil lawyer to make a little money, right? AOSA, objection, judge. Let's move on. But in civil litigation, you might look for malingering, right? Combs, box. Why this guy is talking so much? Can we get an answer from her? Combs, box. You have a webinar about giving expert witness testimony, right? Yes, for battered women. But let me show you the X. Judge sidebar. Doing the sidebar, exhibit from Star Island Raid, the baby on the extra glide. Dang! Y'all see this? Look at this. Child. Jurors, we're going to send you the jury room for a bit. All rise, jurors leave. Judge, yesterday, Ms. Sharpe was submitted an event exhibit ex parte. Now, reviewing the document, what should I focus on? It would say it should show this witness has a bias. Judge, she can be shown the document about training domestic violence advocates and asks if she remembers, but I won't admit it as evidence until she denies it and becomes prior as consistent statement. Witness re-enters the jury. Comes back. Does the document refresh your recollection? Dr. Hughes, let me take a look at it closely. Yes. Bach, the fourth part about navigating cross-examination, right? Dr. Hughes, yes. Combs Bach, most of your income comes from court-related work, right? Dr. Hughes, no, maybe half. Bach, you raised your rate to 600. Dr. Hughes, it's been the same for some. Bach, you raised it. Dr. Hughes, consistent with others. Combs Bach, you've been trained hundreds of times, but you never come into court and testify in defense of a man accused of sex crimes. Dr. Hughes, that's correct. I don't evaluate offenders. Combs Bach, you met with the prosecutor 6 times to prepare your testimony, right? Dr. Hughes, correct. AOSA, can we have a sidebar? You may. Sidebar. Whew, child. Yeah, how y'all feel about this witness, though? Do y'all got a funny bone from her? Or y'all feel iffy about her? They back. Combs Bach, you did discuss the topic with the prosecutors. Dr. Hughes, with all due respect, it was mostly me educating them. Bach, but you know nothing about this case. Were you advising them how to present evidence in domestic violence cases? Combs Bach, did you help them write briefs? And you would say, can we have a sidebar? How many sidebars are you going to be having? Like, come on now. Judge, yes, but I keep it brief, shorter than the last. Sidebar hasn't, in fact, been shorter. It hasn't been, in fact, been shorter. Judge, sorry, this was a shorter. Mrs. Steiner, AOSA, Mrs. Steiner, you revealed some filings to the court in the case. It was all related to the subject of your expert testimony, right? Dr. Hughes, correct. AOSA, in fact, we redacted. Dr. Hughes, you did. AOSA Steiner, you are a board certified forensic psychologist, right? Dr. Hughes, yes. AOSA, how many of those are there in New York State? Dr. Hughes, I think that's about 40. Recourse, Combs Bach, your defense worked in almost entirely for the victims of the rest of my. Hold up. Combs Bach, your defense work is almost entirely for victims of domestic violence, right? Dr. Hughes, I'm not sure that's true. But you work with Mr. Brian Steele, who was defendant of women charged with reacting to domestic violence, right? Yes. Ooh. Okay. Yes. Combos. And Mr. Steele decided not to use you after meeting with you. Judge, move on. Bach, no further questions. Yeah, Bach, I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Judge, next witness. Oh, this is the witness that has the immunity just to sign, huh? Kaplan? Okay. I think we're gonna end it here. We're gonna end it here. So y'all, how y'all feel? I don't know that Dr. Hughes testimony and stuff like that. That Bach, he would try to hammer something, and I don't know. His leader is was Landon or what, but she did work with the defense. One of the defense is Brian Steele, and I guess he was working with somebody, a woman who was charged with domestic violence, and she was a testimony on that. Now, I don't know a lot of people saying that she's an uncredible witness and she's not to be trusted and whatnot, based on the last case. That's what I was asking. Do y'all know what case she was going to testify on? But whatever. It is what it is. They go to the next witness anyway because the defense was trying to hammer on something, and the judge said, "Let's move on." And you take it so long, try to get away, and you act in the circles, and it's not going anywhere. So I don't know, but so next we got George Kaplan. He signed an immunity deal, and he violated the Fifth Amendment rights. So he going to testify. Next thing we're going to give on. So Sunday we're going to continue on for the part 4 of this case and read on from here and whatever other stuff comes from. People replay game. If you appreciate y'all, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your comments. If not on here, hit my Discord and tell me your thoughts about everything. About Dawn Richards, about the Sheree Hayes, about what the mother said, about the best friend. We had the agent that speak on it, and then we also had Dr. Hughes. So there's a lot of witness testimony we read today. So we caught up mostly, so we're not too far behind. So I appreciate y'all coming through. Tomorrow we will do Real Housewives of Atlanta review. And then on Friday we'll do Beyond the Gates. So stick with me for those lives. It's not heavy like this one. Heavy. But it's a little more light and more fun. And let's get into those shows. All right, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all for coming through. Thank you, everything. Thanks again, Jasmine, for the Cash App. And thank you all who be watching the bushes. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm sorry with the Wi-Fi was acting up, but I think y'all still was able to hear me. So hopefully it's not choppy. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day, rest of your night. Have a great night. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace out. Have a good night, y'all. See y'all tomorrow.